When I think about rain, it is 5 a.m. in Vinnytsia, Ukraine, and the flower seller sets out bowls of blossoms in every hue, gathering to greet us with the bleed of blue into white, pink into purple, trash cans of roses in the flushed reds of lavish passion and condolence, the expectant cluster so thick, the 100-ply petals so soft, that the iron and brick edges of our lives are dimmed and blurred, and workers at every age, holding jobs they cannot lose, will not lose, pass through the mist and perfume as through a promise. For honest wealth means queuing for ample meat and bread, while stories of famine and the war's lack and loss, of 2 or 3 families sharing a flat, stores with empty shelves, of a system of want for the many and plenty for the few, cause no clamor in the heart. No clamor for those who veer in taxis to shared rooms and scolds, exploding from mothers and grannies, to scalding Nescafe and books for school waiting and stacked under time and rain and a smoking sky. Everyone knowing better than to lose a minute until the noon's jubilate requites desire at the church door, where we crowd to the streaming curb and cross ourselves 3 times in the wet, bright cold of the domes and icons hammered gold, and pray for God's plan for each of us. Each, imagine, for the fallen and despised whose breaking bodies carry the scents of incense, wax, and lemon oil, whose ears echo the words chorus in the squeal of cars and trams, the motley taxis that race for fares along Vinnytsia's crowded seams, of horns and tires and tirades. So freely does the spirit seek in time and space under a caped gray sky that on better days it recalls blasts of light and crashing snow so completely that we can't see the full-blooded hearts of beggars soaked by rain, their sodden money cups, their matted mongrels and drenched blind babes, the gypsy mothers moaning by the gate. Or Odessa's wind moaning in rust-red cables of bending cranes when I think about rain on the Potemkin steppes and icy piers where the Black Sea's waves and spray cascade upon lovers who kiss cognac and coffee in the shredding air while the sweeper and I chase paper into corners and beat it with our brooms. Garbage swirling like smoke in a reversal of rain in salty air, sweetening air with maize enchanting of mint and soot-dusted apple bloom, of lime and lilac-scented sweat, for nothing allays the odor of arms raised and hung from the bars in the marshutkas and trolleys, in our rejoicing at winter's end, its death gained in sun or rain in Vinnytsia, Ukraine, by the river's loop where we stand on bridges and drink the nut-bitter Jakob's coffee charged with sugared milk as thoughts wash away with muddied water while Baba herds her goats and chides, "Come along, ladies, come along," while we yearn for rain in its sudden downpour. We yearn for the torrent to course under collars, its cold cleansing of whatever faces we show to the world that knows only the myth and magic from before the Soviets' lies and lies, knows its faith both ancient and out of time, so thorned with stories that catch the heart, that sing the past joy, yearn for the humid chill as shoulders slump and voices plead for comfort, hope, and love. For each a hopeless love, for hands to knit in the winter bed or legs to twist like roots in an earth locked by March's chill. For the curtains breeze as April draws to the window June from May. For the revelations of dreamy girls who need so much but know it's still Ukraine. Still this day of longing in the bleak blow of rain that combs the river's wide water, the drain of salt and minerals from unmarked graves, many thousands among Vinnytsia's forested vales, while thousands of women, brave and alone, cry for husbands who labor in Poland, Russia, and Spain, who seldom shadow their own doors or hold to the love of children, wives, or know how the work of hands can complete the heart. For the heart's work is like breath and life-laced rain when we hear the neighbor's love and rage through the walls and doors of plaster and steel in our two-room flats, and like the rain we seep through the shutter that bangs in the sharp-aired spring that we dream about. For we'll never know what we don't know by now in our anguish and ecstasy when we think about rain in Vinnytsia, Ukraine, where the grannies sell sunflower seeds and blossoms blasting their pure rain-made reds, yellows, oranges, and whites, the forest snowdrops, periwinkles, and valley lilies, the daisies raised by hand for a boy's prayer to the heart-hurt girl, for kissing under tipping pagodas, for answering yes and no, for pleasures gained where they hug and taste on tongues the smoked cheese, halva, tobacco, herring, horseradish, kvass, vodka, pickles, borscht, beer, and a million sweets. Sweets on streets where the women smoke and strut, tight and hard-hipped, spiked and leathered, where the boys smoke and roll their shoulders, stare at each other and the foreign-born, while stray dogs mate and fight, bite and howl in the night, chase the trucks and cars that have run them down until shrieking they are crushed again and lie dead center in the flowing street, or stand broken, tangled, starved and wet, and pity us for the simple craving that makes us walk so far in this morning's mist and desire. Desire for rain's realities, its hiss, its rush, its rinsing away a whole day's dust, its muddy swirls down walk and way, its warmth and wet, its draining in a gust of air on streets named Artema and Karl Marx, lost to translucence and the river's wash, lost in the pitches glisten and sun-struck tar in Vinnytsia, Ukraine, where I think about rain and its insistence. For where there is rain, there is its coming light. Where light, it's love. Where love, it's inevitable hope. And in the spirit of saving what's sane, we fill our eyes and hands with rain. Eyes that catch and hands that clasp in each lane or way, for in caring we know the naked, the clothed, who's a child and who's grown old, whose soul is timid or whose is bold, what might be chanted or left untold. When sleep brings its ease and our eyes close in peace, grief warms the joy of those left behind, while through the window's frame each morning, each night, we cry yes, yes in Vinnytsia, Ukraine, and smile at what's recalled and reclaimed when we hold on to each other and forget about rain.